is Dennis from Do Guitar Now. Today this is a beginner guitar lesson for chords. We're going to learn how to play what they call the open position chords today. So I'm just going to talk you through them. We're going to be using what they call the caged system. So we're going to go in the order of C, A, G, E, and D. We're going to pay attention that all 5 of them chords have a major chord, but only 3 of them have a minor chord. So in essence, we're going to end up with 5 different ways to play every major chord and 3 different ways to play every minor chord by the time we learn all of these. So let's get started. We're going to start out with the C position. It's called the C major chord. What we're going to do is place our first finger of our fret hand on the first fret of the second string. Then we're going to place our second finger on the second fret of the 4th string, and our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Now our strum begins at the 5th string and strums all the way through the 1st string. So one note at a time. Make sure we're nice and clear and clean with the sound out of each one. So that is the C major chord. Next up we have the A major chord. This time we're going to place our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, our second finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and our third finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So in order to get all 3 of them fingers in that same 2nd fret, we kind of have to do them diagonally. Once again, we're going to start our strum from the 5th string and strum through the 1st. So our lowest note is A. Now one note at a time, make sure they're clear. Then next up we have the A minor chord. This time we place our first finger on the 2nd string at the 1st fret, our second finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and our third finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. We begin the strum from the 5th string and strum through the 1st. One note at a time, make sure they're clear. Now we have the G major chord. Our first finger goes on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Our third finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And our second finger goes on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. We strum all 6 strings this time. One note at a time. Then we have the E major chord. First finger on the 1st fret, 3rd string. Second finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. And third finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. We strum all 6 strings. One note at a time. And now for the E minor chord. It's the same as the E major, except we do not use our first finger. So we're going to lift it up. That leaves the second finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and our third finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Once again, we're going to play all 6 strings. And one note at a time. Next, we have the D major chord. We're going to place our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, our second finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and then our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. This time, we're going to strum from the 4th string through the 1st. One note at a time. And then the final open position chord is the D minor chord. We're going to place our first finger on the first fret, first string. Our second finger on the second fret, third string. And our third finger on the third fret, second string. Once again, we're going to strum fourth through first strings. One note at a time. That is the caged system. So we had the C major chord, the A major chord, the A minor chord, the G major chord, the E major chord, the E minor chord, the D major chord, and the D minor chord. Now it's important to note that when you are trying to form one of these chords, that what we have to do is find where our fingertips can roll up onto the string that it's pushing into and take any part of the fingers that may be laying against any of the other strings, because we don't want this noise. So we have to roll them fingers up and keep them pushed in. So that way we get clear notes there. We don't want, if you have that noise going on, just kind of roll your fingers up to where you create what I call a tunnel. And if we look at it real close, you can see how there's a tunnel going on. So that is the caged system known as the open position chords. Next lesson, I will teach you how to create the bar chords, and therefore we will be using the same cage system, but we will learn how to play every major and minor chord using the chords that we use today. So practice up, make sure you get nice clear notes, and I'll catch you next time.